Hey dude, Thub here. Had another successful day out there picking. Apologies, I didn't bring you along for the adventure. I don't really, okay, I'll be honest, some mornings I get up later than others and I'm in a big rush to get out the door. I could definitely be doing a better job of adulting. But I found a bunch of cool stuff, like these. I found more than just this, but this is a Roomba that I need to test. And I found a Wii, as well as a box full of controllers and such. It's pretty cool. Gonna have to test that too. And maybe we'll get to that later in this video. But right now, this video is about what I sometimes spend my evenings doing, the other side of the picking, and that is putting back together and rehabilitating treasures found from the trash. We got a couple great items today, and if you're interested, you can see how it goes. Now, I've got a handful of tools. And I'm not sure I'm going to need all of them, but let's jump into it. Now, I will admit there's a slight possibility the only reason I decided to do this for a video was because I wanted an excuse to clean off this table and use this cool mount that I'm so proud of making. This thing right here is what we're talking about. Pretty rudimentary, but I think it should work just fine. One more tool. Any guesses what this is for? Now, first things first, I got this here bag of goodies. Now, for anybody who's been following along, you may remember when Durant and I found this one. Thought it was an iPhone 6S, turns out it was an iPhone 6. I brought it into the Apple Store and tried to get them to replace it. But that, although it's worked for me, you know, various times in the past, it wasn't going to work this time because it was way too old, out of warranty. However, I also have this one, which I was pretty sure was an iPhone 6S, because I don't know a darn thing about these, apparently. You're not going to be able to see the tiny letters on this, but I checked the back and they match perfectly. So, this one here has a broken screen, but works perfectly fine. This one here does not work, but the screen's perfectly fine. Let's make some treasure out of some trash. Now, I have never, ever done this before, so I really can't say with any certainty whether this is going to work or not. Damn it, Apple. The piece on this is a 5-point star. Let's see if I've got anything that even remotely resembles this business. Nope, not even close. So you know what, we're just gonna use a really, really tiny flathead. Okay, so slight problems. They all came out fine except for this thing right here. So this is what we're doing, sharp tip on the edges. I'll be honest, I'm not enjoying this experience. The right tool for the job is definitely... Didn't even look at these before, I just assumed they were Phillips. We'll get it. Okay, this whole part has been awful, but there, I just got it. I ended up just like grabbing it with my fingernails and twisting it out after I managed to use the edge of this trim tool to get it lifted at least a little bit. Of course, my fingernails are all chipped up now, but it doesn't matter. Okay, so suction cup is not working out great. Get a card under there. Ain't so bad. Thankfully, these are all Phillips. Okay, I don't want to do this, but I'll be straight with you. I don't think I'm going to be able to get this off tonight because my teensy screwdriver is stripped and just not... Yeah, the screwdriver itself is not getting the bite that I need. And now, the next project is this happy little fella. See, this keyboard is fricked. Yeah, I don't know why somebody was trying to do that, but that's what happened. The replacement keyboard. This cost me $40. Beautiful thing. Whoops. Cool. This one should be a lot simpler and a lot more fun. Remove the battery This one's pretty straightforward. We've got 2 screws, and there's actually markings that say KBD, keyboard. I love the feeling of a screwdriver just slotting right in to the screw. Ooh. Gross. Uh-oh. Oh, that's not good. Somebody jammed something under here and severed this ribbon cable. That's just one trace, but it looks like they scraped through the copper there. That's a real bummer. Oh, and over here as well. Wow. That's not good. See if we can jimmy rig this. Oh, you're gonna just love having a baby sister, my parents said. You get to be a role model and have someone to look up to you. Okay, through a series of tests, I've determined that the last owner of this laptop was an animal. These traces may be related to the keyboard, so I'm going to bridge those with solder. And then this thing is the trackpad. I'm going to try and fix this up without completely disassembling it. But if I'm not able to repair that, it'll be okay, because you can operate the whole thing perfectly fine with a keyboard and mouse externally. That's not ideal, obviously, but we'll see how this goes. Okay, well, I don't know if this is going to do anything at all, but it looks like I've managed to bridge these two. This was an absolute mess, and not for me. So, let's slap that keyboard in there and see if we got anywhere. Oops. Forgot to plug it in. Oh boy, that is fun. There we go. And I don't remember if the battery's got any charge. Apparently not. Come with me. It's not turning on. Must be a short somewhere. Okay, so I took the keyboard back out, plugged this thing in, power it on, still nothing, right? This is that ribbon cable I was trying to reattach. Way out. Bing. So that's all right then. I guess that means I did manage to reconnect some of that. It's a real shame. It's mostly because I just melted the heck out of the plastic surrounding it. If I was really careful, I probably would have been able to do that. But it's the first time I've attempted something like that. So, oops. Keyboard back in. Next test. Okay, fingers crossed on this one. Starting up fine. Oh. Yeah. Big win on the keyboard reattachment. So bridging those traces with the solder was successful. I just wish I hadn't screwed up that ribbon cable so badly. But it does work fine with a mouse. So I wish I could repair that, but I can't. Doesn't matter, because now I can give my sister a working laptop to get her through until she buys herself like a good one. But she didn't want to do that right away because she didn't really have the money saved up yet. And maybe the ribbon cable is an easy thing to replace. Probably not. So she can order that herself, and if she gets it in, if she feels like it, I'll come over and fix it. Nice to win. I think I'm going to call it for the night. Yo! So it's a new day, and I'm feeling so fresh and so fine, because this thing happened. It didn't just happen, I did it. So, the phone I was having trouble with, I wanted to go out and buy maybe a screwdriver or something. So I figured I'd ask at a cell phone repair shop, and I went to Phone Freak's cell phone repair, and I think the guy's name was Sean in there. Anyway, I told him my problem, and he said, "Let me see it," and takes a screwdriver and just takes the screw out that I was having trouble with. Like, it ain't no thing. Took him seconds. I guess when that's like your whole thing and it's what you do all day, you get kind of good at it. He told me I just needed a bigger one. So, boop. Now we're here. All I have to do now, boop. Haha. There's so many things in there. How complicated. That is the good one. G to G. Don't screw it up, Drake. So next is this bad boy. Let's see if the suction cup works on a screen that isn't all cracked to heck. Other way. Gently, gently, don't break the thing. We're just going to lean that up against the box. Now, those tiny screws, I'm going to do my absolute best to do this without screwing any of them up. So I'm going to use the best tools I've got. I'm probably just going to focus on doing them without having to get a good camera angle, because I want to make sure I do this right. I did it. It worked perfectly. This one was not difficult. I don't know why the other one was being such a wiener. The guy at the cell phone shop probably thinks I'm an idiot, but it doesn't really matter what he thinks. I am on track. Now that's free. So this is the one that is trash. I'm going to bring this right over and quickly, carefully resume the transplant. Well, that looks good. Now let's test this thing, because I am not putting the whole thing back together again without being sure that it works. Well, that seems to work. Okay, I'm just going to put the whole thing together now. I don't think this one's magnetic. Nope. We can fix that. Magnet. Aha! Gently. Now we're going to leave that thing to charge for a while before I put those, penta whatever screws in there, because those I still don't have the right tool, so I don't want to strip them and screw it up. Now, while you guys are still here, I'm feeling pretty good about how that went. It's still not a guaranteed success, but it seems like it's going in the right direction. So I figured I'd take another crack at the laptop. Now, yes, I screwed up the ribbon cable, but it's just a cable. So I figure one of these, which are fairly new, probably has a similar cable. It's just a trackpad connector. And I was looking on eBay, and it looks like, I'm not going to say universal, but they are similar. A lot of them are similar. I'm learning that keyboards are designed to be easy to replace without taking the whole thing apart. There's one part I can definitely sell on eBay. Now, unfortunately, this cable only has 4 traces across it. But that's not the one. Next. Way too many. Shoot. Okay, so after a little more digging around, I discovered a ribbon cable that I think will work fine on the inside of that other laptop that was only a half. This one here. It's also on the trackpad, it's the same number of pins and it's the same width, so it should work fine. The only problem is it is not the same length. So I'm still going to have to solder ribbon cables together. The point is, I found a cable that should work. There. Now with my razor blade, I need to ever so carefully bare the silver in there. Let's bring you a little closer. Okay, so I've got them bare. I've taped them down to hold them in place, and I've lifted the outside too, because I think the best way to do this, rather than doing them individually, is going to be to try and just kind of brush them and get nice clean connections. Now yes, I'm aware it looks terrible, but they are all attached and they are all separate. So let's pop this thing back together and see if it actually works. Alright, no battery, but yes power. Cord. Okay, we've got activity lights. Now unless I screwed up something new, everything should work just fine. The question is the trackpad. Just a quick reminder in case anybody forgot what all this fiddling was for. Alright, here it is. For all the marbles. Oh my god. And the button? Yeah! Whoa! Oh my god, that feels good. This was definitely not worth it. But now I have a laptop to give to my sister. I almost feel bad for the poor thing. She's not good with technology. Now, who wants to see... Okay. Well, that answers that, but... Yep. Yep. Well, everything seems to work. Except for the fact that the font is huge. I'm gonna have to look that up. Okay, some of you may have seen this coming. I somehow did not. Here's the phone. I put the case on it, and it works beautifully. Canada. May take a few minutes to activate your iPhone. Activation lock. Yeah, that makes sense. So my intention was to give/sell that phone to Durant for a super low price, because that boy's been rocking an iPhone 4 since it came out and definitely needs an upgrade. So he's the most deserving individual for that. Unfortunately, there's only 3 ways to get around an activation lock. Number 1 is contact Apple and show proof of ownership. We're probably going to try that. Number 2, contact the original owner and get them to remove it. I'm leaning towards that one because I do know where they live. But that would be kind of a weird conversation, and it's a real roll of the dice. They might be nice, or they might not be. And then option 3, apparently there are some services you can pay for online to get that. Those aren't necessarily guaranteed success. I don't know if I want to trust one of those. But for the purposes of this video, I am calling this a success because I did successfully manage to transplant the screen onto the working. I have a perfectly working iPhone now. So, outside of that, this laptop turned out beautifully. Everything on it works great. I got it all cleaned up and ready for my siesta. I believe this constitutes 2 great successes. Okay, 1 great success and 1 half victory. I don't find these results totally satisfying, so I'm going to fiddle with at least one more thing. This right here. PS4 controller. Durant was having trouble with this one, so I'm going to clean it and get it working nicely, and then hopefully trade it in at EB Games tomorrow for their double traded in credit thingy. Yeah! Hey, I bet I could have used that ribbon cable for the laptop. Just give it the old Q-tip isopropanol. Put this bad boy back together and see y'all on the other side. Man, seems good. Oh shoot. Didn't want to lose that. Whew. I found it. This is the return spring from the trigger button. And of course it's really bouncy, so when it fell down there, it moved around a lot, and I'm a little embarrassed by how much stuff is piled up down there. This is just a good lesson to keep your workspace clean. Seems about right. Alright, win. That is 2.5 wins. Let's keep this train going. There's one more thing. I cannot guarantee this is going to be a win, but way earlier in this video, which is like 3 days ago. I mentioned I found a Roomba. These are probably not worth very much these days. And vacuum cleaners do kind of gross me out because they pick up all the dust from somebody else's house, so you're talking about like bacteria and viruses and dander and all sorts of nasty stuff. Somebody's going to want to buy this if I can get her all cleaned up. That is dirt from someone else's house. Says it's doing its thing. I just gotta make sure it actually works before I spend all afternoon cleaning it.
Please charge Roomba.
Okay. Big flashing button in the middle.
Please charge.
Okay, well that's the problem. Then the battery's screwed. Well, I guess I don't get a Roomba in my life. Whatever. Pretty bougie thing for me, anyway. Not everything's a winner. At least it's still good for parts. Which is too bad because I was really hoping to end this video with some footage of that little robot scurrying around the house. And I've got plenty more odd things to go through, but I'm pretty much out. So, better than you found it. Keep doing the thing.